The Bears' ferocious comeback falls just short as they lose to the Packers 28-21 to fall to 9-4 on the season. Green Bay improves to 9-3-1. We'll take a look at the playoff picture later on in the show. Slow first half, great second half. Caleb Williams picked on basically the last play of the game. We'll talk about it all here on today's postgame show. My name is Harrison Graham. I just want to ask you guys first. Who do you blame for the loss? If you had to blame one person or one area, who would you blame? You could certainly go in a lot of directions. I think a couple of things stand out to me. As a whole, in the first half, you just weren't good enough. Caleb couldn't get into a rhythm. He was having to throw the ball away a lot. Colston Loveland had a critical drop. They didn't get the run game going. Dennis Allen was getting burned on some blitzes. And to the Bears' credit, and I said this at halftime, trailing 14-3 when it felt like it should have been a lot worse, I wanted to see how this team responded, and they responded well. They got all the way back to 21-all. I thought Caleb in the second half played really well until the very last play, which we'll talk about in a second. But I think it's kind of tough to pinpoint it on one person. I guess you could say Ben for that last play call, even though play could have been made. I guess you could say Caleb for the slow start or the decision on the fourth down. You could say the defense. I think one thing that really stands out, and we'll get to Caleb Williams in a second, you lost this game to me. Their defensive line was very impactful. The Bears was not. The Bears just can't generate pressure. Montez Sweat had a sack early. Felt like Jordan Love, other than that play, had all day to throw. You're not getting enough from your front four. And I just think it is what it is. You have who you have, right? I don't expect that position group to be awesome the rest of the way. And so you have to work around it. And today, how have you worked around it this year? Takeaways and an awesome secondary. You had one takeaway where Jordan Love threw the ball right to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Other than that, he kind of diced you up. They were getting guys wide open. So, that front four is just kind of a problem for the Bears, and it's going to be an area of focus, I would imagine, this offseason. Let's talk about the quarterback. Started 1 for 7. That didn't include 2 drops and 3 throwaways, but really brutal start. I think it was 5 for 13 at halftime or something like that, 6 for 14. Ended up 19 for 35, so he was 18 for his last 28. Certainly played a lot better in the second half. I thought he was really good in the second half, was just playing with more confidence, throwing on the run, delivering strikes within the pocket as well. Hit Cole Kmet on a beautiful scramble drill throw up the right sideline. The touchdown to Olamide Zaccheaus was fantastic. Couple chunk plays to Luther Burden as well. Hit Colston Loveland on a key third down. I thought the second half until the very last play was one of his better halves of the year. Threw 2 touchdowns in the second half. But again, this passing game as a whole, and I think there's a multitude of problems. At times, it doesn't seem like Caleb and the receivers are on the same page. Like there was one play late in the first half where Caleb's expecting Luther Burden to break out to the sideline, and he sits and he throws it out in front incomplete. So you're still seeing too much of that at this point in the season. But the one thing I will continue to say about Caleb Williams is he just keeps taking swings. I mean, it looked rough early. The protection wasn't holding up. He's missing throws. Guys that aren't getting going. You're just getting nothing out of your pass game. One for 7 for 3 yards through about a quarter and a half. And he played really, really well in the second half. So that's good. Now let's talk about the last play. Second to last play first. You get all the way down the field. Caleb makes some big throws. You have a couple runs. You get to 3rd and 1 at the Packers 14. You hand the ball to Kyle Monungai. He gets cracked. I thought he was close to the marker. We never got really a replay. Shout out Fox for that. But they marked him a full yard short. I thought it was closer to the sticks, at least like a half yard there, but they basically called it a no gain. And so 4th and 1, what does Ben Johnson do? I think the Packers took a timeout. He goes back to that concept where Caleb hit Cole Kmet on the touchdown last week, and Caleb basically throws the ball too late and underthrows it. He had a couple of options there. The flat was covered, so that wasn't there. People in the chat keep saying he could have run for it. I don't think he would have gotten there. I guess he could have tried. But if you try to run there and get stuffed, that's pretty brutal. Like, I'd rather give a pass catcher a chance. The throw to Kmet, if he throws it early and with velocity, it's there. Or if he throws it when he did, he can still make the throw, but it's got to be to the back of the end zone, and he underthrew it, and the corner was able to make up the ground and pick it off. So we could say, well, DJ Moore was wide open, and yeah, he kind of slipped open there at the end. That's the third read. I think the Kmet throw is there. He just has to make a better throw. But all of that aside, and this is not to deflect blame off of Caleb Williams. That wasn't a good enough play on that 4th and 1. I don't love the play call, man. A boot to your left. Caleb's obviously capable of doing that, but you were running it down their throats in the 4th quarter. I get it. The Packers dude made a play on 3rd down. What did Jonah Jackson say in the locker room last week? Hey, the game's on the line. We want it on our shoulders. Like, to me, the identity of this team has become like physical downhill running team. And today, Caleb made a bunch of plays in the second half. That's great. Helped dig you out of the hole. But, it almost felt like they put the whole game on that one play. And I didn't think it was necessary. The word I've used, taking super chats from you guys, like, it felt unnecessary, the play call. And I'm not trying to make this all about Ben Johnson. I thought he made some great adjustments in the second half. He got Caleb comfortable on that first drive. They were able to get the run game going. I mean, they had a 17-play, 83-yard touchdown drive to tie the game, a signature drive in this season, especially had they won this game. They clearly made some good adjustments, and Ben's very, very good. To me, though, in that spot, make them stuff you again. Like, are any of us, like, questioning the call if they go back to Monungai on 4th and 1? Like, that 3rd down was the only time in the second half that I can remember that a run play either went for no gain or backwards. You really think they're going to do it again? And if they do, tip your cap. I think in that situation, I'm leaning on the offensive line and running the football. I just did not love the play call. Now, again, it could have been made. The throw to Cole was there. DJ did slip open. Like, you could have converted there. So, like, at least they called a play where there was a chance to get it. I just think it's lower percentage to call a boot to your left and the flat is taken away initially. That means you got to get to the 2nd or 3rd read and make a tougher throw. I just would have put the ball in your offensive line's hands there. And that's not I don't trust Caleb Williams. He proved in the second half you can put the ball in his hands. He made a lot of plays. But get the first down, take a timeout with 22, 23 seconds left. You still have one timeout. Then Caleb's got 4 cracks. And you can still run the ball at least once with the one timeout. It felt unnecessary to me, the play call on the last play of the game. So there's a lot of good to be taken out of this game. You were down 14-3 at halftime. You easily could have folded. You didn't. They battled back, and I said it at halftime. I want to see how this team answers. You got punched in the face in the first half. You got it all the way back to 21-all, and you cut it or down 7 in the final minute. You got inside the 15-yard line with the chance to tie or win the game. Considering how you played in the first half, that's a pretty good response. And I think the Bears sent a message to Green Bay like, hey, this isn't the same old Bears. Now, the Packers got this one, but I think the Bears should be feeling pretty good about their chances in 2 weeks at home. But obviously the Browns are up next. All right, sub for Bears dubs. Didn't get the dub today, but shout out to you guys for helping us reach 144,000 subscribers. The train doesn't stop. Win, lose, or draw. We're bringing you content every single day. So hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. More to break down from this one, but first, I want to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor. That is PrizePicks. The holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. New feature alert. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out before the game even finishes. On PrizePicks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play option. You can get paid even if one of your picks misses. If you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter your play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. My 2-player lineup, 0 for 2. DeAndre Swift didn't score, and Jordan Love threw for 232, I think. This was a $20 lineup to win $80, but I got enough winnings this year. I'll get back on the saddle very, very soon. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. All right, more takeaways from this one. Let's talk about the defense a little bit. I thought they got some timely stops when they needed to. To start the second half, the Packers got the ball at 14-3, and we said, this is a must stop. If Green Bay goes down and scores, a field goal or a touchdown, certainly, to make it a 3-score game, you were going to be in major trouble. Got the quick stop, 3 and out. Bears go down and score, get the 2 to cut it to 14-11. Okay, boom, game back on. And to the Packers' credit, what happened? Quickly, they scored again. They beat Dennis Allen on a blitz. He brought 7, played man coverage across the board. Christian Watson, quick slant, fake outside release slant. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, no chance. Untouched, 41-yard touchdown. I just thought they gave up too many explosives. I mean, the lollipop touchdown to Bo Melton, thank you, producer Colin. I mean, off his back foot, moon ball, no one near the guy. Like, that just can't happen. The quick slant, listen, sometimes you bring the house, it gets picked up, and you get beat. I really don't have an issue with that one. But when he can just sit back there and throw the ball off his back foot, the ball is thrown so high in the air, it's out of the camera's view if you're watching at home. That cannot be completed, man. It just can't. So I did not think it was a great day for the defense. We can be critical of Dennis Allen. We've asked him to blitz all year, and he has a lot, and he's had some good timely ones. Sometimes they get picked up, and today they got picked up, and you got burned a few times because of it. Oh, it doesn't help that in pregame warmups, Kyler Gordon gets injured. Groin injury. No idea if he's going to return this year. The season from hell for Kyler Gordon. And remember, his extension, technically this is the final year of his rookie deal. It kicks in next year. I mean, it's been a disaster. And, I like Kyler Gordon a lot. I feel bad for him, but it's shit, man. 3 years, $40 million, you've gotten 2 games out of him. Pretty tough to lose that guy before kickoff today. And, I said it during the watch party, I don't really expect him to play again this year. I mean, they might just shut him down. So that was tough. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had the early pick. Outside of that, I did not think he had a great game. Got beat a couple of times. I thought a critical play in the game, too. 2 of them, actually, on the Packers' go-ahead and ultimately game-winning drive. C.J. Gardner-Johnson misses a tackle in space on Josh Jacobs. Should have been a 3rd and 8. Ends up turning into a 3rd and 1 that they easily converted. And then Jalen Johnson, along with, I can't remember who the other defender was, they have Josh Jacobs dead to rights on 3rd and 2. Should have been a 4th and 2. Then Matt LaFleur's got to make a big decision, either kick to go up 3 or go for it on 4th down. Jalen Johnson didn't even lean his shoulder into him. Dude, I know you're just back. You have got to try and make a play there. That's unacceptable. That's one in the film room. It's bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? You have to try and make that tackle. Jacob splits both guys and gets down inside the 10. They end up punching it in. You make that tackle there. It's 4th and 2. Who knows? Maybe they go for it and you stop them. Maybe they kick a field goal, and instead of needing a touchdown on your final drive, you only need 3. It changes everything, and instead, it was a pretty weak effort. They tackled very poorly on that Packers go-ahead drive across the board. Here's the ultimate issue. This defensive line is not that good, and the secondary has made up for it a lot of the year, along with Dennis Allen's aggressive nature, by creating takeaways. Well, the only takeaway you got today was when Jordan Love threw the ball right to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The secondary didn't play that well, and that's the problem. If you're not going to generate pressure up front, and if you can't even get home when you blitz, you're in major trouble because they just can't get home with 4. I mean, Jordan Love's he's flipping pancakes, he's drinking bourbon, he's on his phone with his girl, and he's just got all day to throw, man. It's just very difficult. I thought a huge reason why the Packers won and the Bears lost, their defensive line popped, the Bears didn't. Seriously, in the first half, the Bears had no answers for the Packers' defensive line, especially in pass protection. To the Bears' credit, they made adjustments. Offensive line played a lot better in the second half, like we know they're capable of, but the Bears' D-line popped for one play. Montez Sweat had a key sack to knock Green Bay out of field goal range, and then Love got picked on the next play anyway. But other than that, they were nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, and I think that was a big reason in this game. In the trenches, the Packers, for the majority of the game, were better, especially in the first half. Wasn't even close. Again, Bears O-line, second half played pretty well, but D-line just never flashed. Never flashed. And look, 28-21, you lose. You had a chance late despite not playing well in the first half. Came up a player or two short. I think the Bears are here. I still think this team is for real. And you get a second crack in 2 weeks. And get the FGBs in the chat if you want the Bears to beat the Packers in 2 weeks. Obviously, you got to beat Cleveland first, but get those FGBs going. Cullen, do we have the playoff picture? It's not available. Okay, well, the Bears are the 7 seed. But if they win next week and the Packers lose, they're back on top of the division. If both teams win or lose next week and the Bears beat the Packers at home, they're back in the 2 seed. So it's very nip and tuck right now. Every game matters. Got to beat Cleveland. Do not look ahead to Green Bay. The good news, the only silver lining of losing is you would think they'd be locked in on this next game. You cannot afford to lose to the Browns. But if you win that game, it's back on in 2 weeks. It is back on. So FGB in the chat, hell of a game. Great battle back, but came up a couple plays short, and we'll see how they respond. First loss in a while. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Bear down.